What? Uh, Another key. That's level 5. That's level 5. Aha, a key to the next party chamber. I'm excited to encounter new guests, but you don't look as ready, are you? It's just that Ned and Eliza don't seem to be having as good a time as I am, and I really want them to. I can't quite speak to their feelings, but I would go easier on our Viking friend. I promise. Your friendship with her speaks volumes. Friendship, huh? Oh, there we go. More about this friendship talk. We're gonna end up triggering the poor woman soon. You know that she doesn't like that whole friendly banter sort of thing. I also don't know why the game isn't playing out sound. I'm not even gonna say anything about it. But that is pretty weird. 2 out of 5, 2 out of 5. That is really good luck for me. Oh, what was that loud noise? Are the dragons firing cannons? Can they do that? I don't know, Ned. Wahoo! With fireworks. Well, that's one way of thinking about it. This is fun. You with your fun, your pish posh. Oh god, that is a very long, windy path over a bridge. Kind of like it though. Kind of like it. So, when we only just got on to level 4, and now we're already on level 5. Granted, the tiles are starting to get quite expensive now, but level 5 with 8.5 days to go? That's pretty disgusting. And so, now that we're on level 5, we are actually getting 450 points for every single task that we're doing, which is going to boost the amount of points that we're getting during the event majorly. This is like one of the best case scenarios, except level 2 did slightly screw us over, but I'm not going to kind of complain about my luck now. The earlier you get good luck on the key drops, the better it is, because again, it means that you get to up the point values that you can collect. It does mean that obviously the higher in points that you go, that it's going to be more difficult to fully clear the current, reset that you're on. But that is just how these castle events are. The longer you go on, the more points you can earn, the more effort you got to put in to earning said points. It's a pretty obvious system, really, but that's kind of why the RNG in these events always sucks, because if you just get unlucky with your key drops on the levels before, then it's like if you get really bad luck at the beginning of the event, but you get good luck at the end of the event, it's a lot worse, because you'd be a lot better off getting good luck at the beginning rather than the end, because at the end you've got to clear out all the chests anyway, right? So, when you're on like level 5 and 6, it doesn't matter quite as much. You still want to be getting to the final level as fast as you can because you get a ton more points, but our luck on these keys, for a change, has been pretty disgusting. I was complaining on level 2 because it was bad, but I'm not going to complain anymore. This is like the sort of luck that you'd hope that you would get from an event like this. But if you didn't get super lucky and say you are still on level 3 because you've had to open up every single chest, then don't worry, you've still got time to finish off the event, but you still need to be logging in for every reset, fully clearing out everything and doing whatever you can. But, I am going to enjoy good castle event key RNG for a change, because if you ever go over to my old castle event videos, my key RNG, for whatever reason, is really bad. I think the game just dislikes me these days because I tend to say a lot of bad things about it. So it's just doing whatever it can to annoy me. That must be it, right? But I tend to have to go through like at least 4 out of 5 keys on pretty much every single level before it'll actually work out. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of our key RNG goes on these levels. Maybe now that I've said all of this on this level, we'll have to open up all of the chests. But I don't mind too much. And you can see here that I'm using all of my instant win tickets. It's normally not a good idea to do this. You should just use up whatever portal energy you have, and then start using your instant win tickets if you are either strapped for time. That is, if you even have any instant win tickets. Most players don't have any of them, which feels bad, dude. Because these instant win tickets, if you don't have a lot of portal energy, these are the things that carry you through the highest tiers in this castle event sometimes. Because when you got quite a few of them, it means that rather than having to, freak out and log in 8 times a reset, you really don't have to do that. But that puts us down to 50 win battles remaining. We got breeding to do and catching creatures to do, which we'll do them whenever. But now we're getting into like the 2,000 currency sort of ranges, which will let us move like 5 tiles. So, here's the creature responsible for those fireworks, a sparkler dragon, an indispensable guest to any celebration. Hey Professor, would you like to try battling this round with me? I'd be delighted to test my apprentice's skills. Oh, there you go. Apprentice and mentor battling a poor sparkler. Lovely sparkler. It was a little loud for my taste, but great battle, guys. I was especially fond of the explosions. Don't look now, I, but I think our friend just might be getting along. Aw, ain't that just the cutest? So, now we have the decision to go in a particular direction, and I have not checked to see if the chests are different point values. I don't believe that they are, but we have the choice of either going left here or going right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 tiles going to the left here, which means it's almost definitely going to be a lot more expensive than going this way. But I'm going to do it anyway, because this takes us towards this. And by it's going to be more expensive, as in it would be more expensive if we had to go all the way around. But if we factor in the 3 battles here, that we will almost definitely be able to do that. It's going to end up being cheaper than going through 2 nearly 700 costing tiles. So, this is going to be my first test. I'm going to go this way and see what happens. But, you know, the benefit of being able to go through really quickly is the fact that you probably don't have to worry about optimizing the route that you take quite as much. But, yeah, that's just what someone lazy like me would say. But, taking into account our luck with the keys has not changed our luck regarding the Dragon of the Month for this month. See, we've only got 2 days left, and we still don't have the Dragon of the Month, which is really starting to concern me. I mean, I've been using this combo, and most of the time I end up getting a 12-hour breed, but it is just not working today, my dude. It is not working at all. You know, purely just because I've got this open, I'm going to speed up once, and we're going to see what happens. Can we get this dragon? Please. Please, game. No. It's just not doing it for me, is it? It is just refusing to cooperate. Like, I think I've only had like 2 or 3 Dragons of the Month ever that have refused, absolutely vehemently refused to cooperate with me on breeding for an entire month. Although, to be fair, I didn't really focus on it for like a week and a half, so maybe this is my punishment. This is my divine punishment from the DML gods for not focusing on the Dragon of the Month sooner. Because usually Dragons of the Month I try and breed them immediately, and then I tend to get them within like my first few tries. But now, because I didn't immediately focus all of my priority on them, they're just gonna slap me around the face. Would it suck to not get the Dragon of the Month? Kind of, mainly because of the amount of time invested into it at this point. Like, getting the Zodiac Dragon, sure, it would be kind of cool. But the main problem here is the fact that I've put like 2 weeks of full breeding effort into this dragon. Which means that maybe I could have been going for, you know, the Sentinel breed a little bit more. Maybe I could have been going for other breeds a little bit more. Maybe I could have started enchanted breeding if I'd have focused on that. It's just about the fact that it's just so much wasted time. And that's the problem with breeding RNG in games like this. If you don't get lucky pretty quickly or just at an average rate, it just feels super duper bad. Because any time that you fail a breed, the dragon that you get out of it's not actually giving you anything. It's just a complete zilch positive. So, my actual, I guess, air quotes, progress, let's say in the breeding area, is just non-existent as a result of bad RNG. And that's where these games start to feel really, really, really icky Because again, I don't know why it has to be like this. Why you gotta do me dirty like this, game? You do me good in one way, you do me dirty in another. Would I rather have good breeding luck and bad key RNG? Probably, mainly because even with bad key RNG, I tend to finish the castle events anyway if I actually care to do them. But with breeding, if I dedicate 2 weeks to it and then it's about to leave, then I'm gonna miss out on a big collection event. Along with a random legendary that maybe in 2 years' time will get changed so that it's actually useful. Who knows? It's just an annoying thing, which I'm sure many of you have encountered before with poor luck, poor breeding results. You could say, it's because you're not using the right combo. There's nothing wrong with this combination. You can look at the possibilities of this combo. They're not high. The average misbreed times are relatively low. It's not anything to do with the combination itself. It is just poor random number generation for me. It's one of the things that you got to accept. Sometimes, due to how RNG works, anecdotal evidence with things is not a good way to do things. Because I could say, breeding for this Dragon of the Month is the hardest legendary to breed in the entire game. Or the second hardest, because I think it's like my second highest, either my second highest or my third highest attempts for a Dragon of the Month ever. Probably. But at the end of the day, it's just bad luck. Because I'm hoping for like a 4% or a 3% chance of hitting that 3%, a 3% chance of hitting that area that I need. And it ain't hitting the numbers that I need it to. It's that simple. There's no workaround for bad luck. You know, that's why gambling sucks and is only allowed by adults, or only should be. Yet video games get away with it all the time because, I don't know, regulation hasn't come out for it properly yet, but that was pretty good. You see that? By us doing all of our ruin exploration, we got some gemmers back. So me wasting a stupid amount of gems on speeding things up, you should never really do that, by the way. I only do it while I'm on camera just to see if we can get some stupid luck while we're here. But you should really never waste gems on stuff like speeding up breeding. Because if you just save up your gems over time and you don't waste them on stupid minor purchases, you'll have enough for stuff like a new hatchery upgrade slot, a bigger portal upgrade, and things like that. Portal upgrades are always going to be useful, because during stuff like this castle event, portal upgrades are going to allow you to do the battles easier. And that is a very, very important thing to remember, because winning battles on the highest tier is not easy. Not at all. When we've got like, I don't know, 700 points or something that we have to work with, 750 points sometimes, it becomes a very different story. But alas, alas, you know, we are here. We are not quite queer, but we continue on. We continue on with our valiant DML grinding as we do pretty much every day. Don't know why. Why do I even do this to myself? I don't know. But it's what we do. But in terms of the dungeon itself, I have not really been logging in very much this week either. Because again, DML, instead of it turning into, I want to, you know, do all the different parts of the game and enjoy every part of it, it becomes, I want to make sure that I don't get burnt out playing the game anymore. So when I'm focusing on this thing and that thing and this castle event and this breeding and that thing, I don't really care too much to be logging in every 6 hours to also do this. Because if I'm mainly logging in for the breeding part of the game, which obviously to me right now is quite an important part if I'm trying to, you know, get that Dragon of the Month, then I would rather be logging in mostly to that time schedule Although I also am taking into account the castle event schedule. So then at the same time, I don't want to be sticking to the dungeon schedule, and I don't want to be sticking to an arena schedule, and I don't want to be sticking to an enchantment league schedule. I think that's the main problem, the fact that there are just so many different things that are like set to different set timers. That's the problem, because it would mean I'd have to log in on this hour for this, the next hour for that, this 2 hours away from that for this, and then 30 minutes away for the next one. That's the thing that I feel is destroying a lot of people that play this game. I feel like that's it. Because nobody wants to be logging in excessively for no reason, you know? There's no point. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Makes no sense. And yet people still do it. I didn't want to kill him. I did not want to kill that boy. But fine, we'll take it. Oh well. You know, I'll do the dungeon whenever it comes up. I'll get some bonus points. We'll see what we get. See if there's any cool deals in that in the shop at the time. If there aren't, we'll just hoard. Because, to be honest, most of the stuff in the shop deals, the only thing I really care about is stuff like double egg relics, hatching relics, breeding relics. Those are the main things that I care about. Why do I keep getting Reddit notifications? I'm going to just mute it permanently, because I've been getting so many Reddit notifications and I'm starting to freak. I'm starting to get very angry. Very angry indeed. But, how's your luck been going with breeding recently? I've obviously complained about mine a little bit today and been happy about other luck, but, you know, that's just me. That's just one person's anecdotal, I guess, time with the game recently. Everyone's gonna be different, especially in super luck-based games like this. It's like how people's experiences in card games are going to be really different, because you'll have some people that maybe on that day will have super crazy luck, and then maybe you'll have someone that day when they were trying to play had super terrible, awful luck. And then they feel bad about it for ages, because they're like, I can't believe I lost my ranked rating because of stupid RNG. That's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of what it feels like. It's like, wow, I'm wasting my month doing something that I gain absolutely no benefit out of. Why do I even bother? You know? But if you don't want any RNG in games, then it's sort of your own responsibility to go and, you know, play a game that doesn't have RNG in it. You don't really have anyone else to blame but yourself if you, you know, play an RNG game and then complain about RNG. I think it's fine to complain about really bad luck or, like, noticeably, like, extortionately poor luck, because at that point it's just kind of funny. But if everything that you do is like, oh my god, I can't believe I got this game sucks, hardcore, it's like, nah, it's probably the RNG that sucks and you just never cared to blame it before. But hey, you do you. You got a decent amount of points here. You know, if I used the Nezha Dragon a bit more, we definitely would have gotten a hell of a lot more points. But I usually can't be bothered to grind out the dungeon. So the way that I do it is not the most optimal way of playing the dungeon. Not by far. But I still can get some points if I'm just looking to, you know, go through it, just spam through it, and get some points. See, it's worth getting something rather than nothing. That's pretty much always the case, unless it's like a disease, in which case, yeah, try and avoid that. Try and avoid it. But for now, I guess we will continue trying to breed for this thing. Even if I wanted to speed up breedings so that I could, you know, see what we get. The problem is I've only got 3 hatchery slots, so if I speed up like 2 eggs, then it's already full. So I can't even speed up breedings with gems to, you know, hopefully go for more resets of this dragon. It's not even gonna work. We just have to hope that in the next 2 days, the game is kind to us. So what do you think? You think it's gonna work out? Think it's not? I mean, the odds are definitely against us. But anything can happen.